Oh, Rick, thanks for coming today. For anybody that doesn't know who you are you and what do you do?
I'm Rick Hart, and I own the Garage Gainsborough on Bridge Street.
Yeah. So, Rick, how did the journey start for you? What was your first ever job? And talk us from the beginning to where you are at.
Long story, yeah. Well, I've been doing the garage work probably 24 years, probably. Basically, I got made redundant at Steelworks. I worked there for a while, and obviously it was going down a little bit. And basically, sat at home. I had a big garage at the back of the house. Always tinkered with cars. Always liked cars. Always liked big cars and flash cars. And basically, one of the neighbours would ask me to look after him or fix the car for him, have a look at the car. And I actually sat and made a ramp by myself. I looked at a picture, got my welder out, started making a ramp up, and I built my own scissor ramp in the garage, and then started working on neighbours' cars, and that's how it basically started.
Cool.
You know what I mean? Got a little bit busy. Mrs. used to go to work, come back, and there'd be 5 or 6 cars on driveway, so that didn't really help. You know what I mean? So, and then you'd get like I don't know, Saturday afternoon or Sunday, you'd sit there and the gate would open, and people would walk past the conservatory and they'd go, "Oh, my car's broke, Rick, my car's broke." And I'm like, whoa, don't need this. So I thought we have to do something about this. So a little garage come up where where McDonald's is now. That came up for rent, and it was the old lawnmower centre.
Yeah.
So I had a little chat about that. Thought about it. Risky thing to do maybe at the time because I wasn't working and stuff like that. And I agreed to take it on, see how it went. Just me, and I started on my own. I had a little bit of help from 1 or 2 people that helped me set it up and everything else. Took a couple of months to sort out, and I opened the doors and I named it the garage. And I thought, well, how many people, when they talk about where's your car going, and they go,
the garage.
I took it to the garage. So I just basically turned around and went, we'll call it the garage and see what happens. And put the sign up, opened the door, got a phone number in. Only had one ramp, nothing else, just one ramp, and just went from there. And
I still
we was
remember
probably there 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years like that,
yeah.
It's good.
It's weird seeing a McDonald's there now, isn't it?
There's a word that you used, and I absolutely love it. You says it was a risky thing to do.
It was, yeah.
And how old, if you don't mind me, how old were you when you first started that?
Well, you're going to be talking early 30s, isn't it? 30s.
And if somebody's thinking about doing a business and taking that risk, what would you say to them?
Think about it first, talk about it, weigh the pros and cons. But if it's doable, do it. You've got to, you're only on this place once, aren't you? Do what you have to do.
Do you, going with that risk, are you glad that you did, or?
I think, sometimes it's been a struggle, obviously, with COVID and everything else, and everyone has issues, everyone has problems along the way, whether it's financial, whether it's problems at work, whether it's staff and everything else. It's difficult. I started very small, so it was, I've had a lot of help from people, and I've got a lot of friends around me, so yourself, you have friends that help you along the way. It might not be financial, it might just be, I need some bits doing, some shelves putting up, this, that and the other. People help you, and it's surprising how many people do help you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is great, and you try and do the same back when you ever need it. You don't do favours for favours, but you try and help your friends out as much as you can. And a lot of people have helped me along the way, and it was a risk, but I think the risk paid off. It was good, but eventually, after 3 or 4 years, the land was up for sale. The person that owned the land, basically, she died, bless her, and it come for sale, and I can't compete with McDonald's.
Was the coal cellar land?
It all belonged to the same person, yeah. So you had next to us, you had the sign place, and then you had the garage, and then you had the coal yard next to it.
Then there's a lock-up, wasn't there? The old building, the lock-up.
Because
I've got the plaque in the McDonald's wall now, haven't they?
Oh, there was, yeah, around the corner. Yeah.
And then
there
next
was,
to
yeah.
that was a model shop. Do you remember the model shop?
Yeah, there was, yeah. Chuffing hell, I nearly forgot that, yeah.
I used to get my Tamiya racing cars from there.
I used to race them as well. We used to do it down St John's. On is it St John's Street? They used to race cars there. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Me and my mate John, we used to go every Friday doing that.
I went down. They used to do it at Westburn Power Station as well. If you remember.
Did that with the methanol ones, yeah. I did that for a bit as well, yeah. Chuffing hell.
I don't know if that's still there or not.
I don't know. It was right at the back end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've raced on there a couple of times.
Yeah.
Because I'm just speaking from my point of view. Like, you get a lot of people my age, maybe younger as well, that they have the thought of business, they want to do it, but they're scared to take that leap. But every person we've spoke to on our podcast, they go, we started off as a hobby or just tried doing it bits and bobs. A bit like yourself, you started at home, you knew you could do it, and you took the risk.
Yeah.
And you're finding more and more people that they don't want to take that risk. And it's like,
I think they're scared of doing it, aren't they? They're scared of, like I say, taking that risk. Everything's a risk, isn't it? It's difficult. It's more difficult now than it was then. I mean, then there was jobs to go into. If you didn't get on with it or do it, you could find somewhere. You could find a job. I was lucky. I had other, little things I was doing anyway. So, but there was always something. But you've got to put food on the table at the end of the day. And if you're not doing that, you need to do something else. But, you've got to try. I think you've got to focus on what you want to do. Focus on a goal. Yeah, and that's the whole big thing, isn't it? I mean, when I was on Trinity Street, in my head it was like, I want an MOT station, I want a bigger garage and stuff like that. And I wanted to do that. That was my aim. I didn't want to be the biggest garage in Gainsborough. I didn't want to be this, that, and the other. I just wanted a nice garage that would give me a good living, and do a good job. As best as I can do a good job. You're not going to please everybody all the time.
No, you're not.
No matter what you do, you can bend over backwards, you can do everything for people, but there's always them people that are going to complain about it. No matter what you do, it works in every business. Always the same.
We can agree.
You'll see it. Everyone will see it. Everyone sees that.
It's like, Lee knows this, like, over time I've done things for people to help people, but then people go, you've done it because you want to become famous or a hero, and I'm like, no. I'm doing it because I know I'm in the position I can help people, and that's all I want to do.
Yeah,
but you always get them people.
People don't seem to like nice things. Like, they don't want to hear nice stories in games, but they want to see people fail, don't they?
Yeah, well, this is the problem, isn't it? When you do something and you're waiting for the haters, aren't you? You're waiting for them people to go.
Absolutely,
told you it won't work.
The thing is, it's like what I found is it's a mindset problem. And that's the biggest thing that is
definitely
worrying. It's a mindset problem. If, again, like I said, I see you, I chat to you, you've got the experience of business. Same with Lee, ran his own business for God knows how long. I surround myself with the right people who can give me that shout and go, maybe look at it from this way. I can't take advice of somebody who's not done it. Because
everyone should expect, everyone should take advice, no matter who it is. It's like, if you're training or you're working or you're doing something, I'm a big believer in if somebody knows a better way of doing something, listen. It's not going to work, is it? Just listen. Take a little bit of advice. I agree with that. Definitely.
Yeah.
No one's above the point of knowing everything.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
the thing. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And when you get to that point where you're like, I think I know it all.
I don't think anybody's at that point. Nobody will ever be at that point.
You're always learning. I'm learning stuff.
You still learn. You learn every day.
Yeah.
There's always something you don't know about. Yeah. Always something.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah.
So, before the garage, what was your career?
Well, I've been working nightclub doors. I was a doorman for many years, going back late 80s. You know what I mean? And all the way through till about 20 odd years, 24 years working doors. All different, Doncaster, Lincoln, Nottingham, all the nightclubs here in Gainsborough as well. It's one of those, yeah. And then in between that, I was like doing that job. Obviously, when you're growing up, you've got that job to do. It doesn't pay everything, so you have to have a job during the day. So I was on. I was at Steelworks, like I said earlier. I was at Steelworks. I worked on their shifts. So I'd be working 6 to 10 nights, and then I'd be working clubs at weekend as well. So I'd probably be working Thursday, Friday, Saturday night at the clubs, and then finishing at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, going back to work, coming in at 3, 4 in the morning, and then going back to work at 6 and.
So that mindset of just work hard, you've always had that.
I think I've always had a good work ethic. I mean, even today, I mean, I go to work. I'm at work at first thing every morning. I get up, I'm at work before everyone else gets there. And
what time do you get up and get cracking? Because this is interesting.
I generally get up about 6:15, 6 o'clock. Generally, get my dog ready, get him out ready, and he jumps in the car. I get to work about 7, 7:05 in the morning. Garage don't open till 8.
It's the way to be, mate. It's the way to be.
Well, I do. I like to get in there, get opened up, get the kettle on for everyone so they've got a drink when they get in. Open the bit, get the cars out, get all sorted out, get the MOT station ready to go. And if I've got an MOT in there ready to go, I'll do it. And I'll do it before they get to work. To me, it helps you get forward. And then if you've got somebody that comes in during the day, they're desperate for an MOT, I've got a slot. If somebody's desperate, it happens quite a lot, I mean, you go on Facebook all the time or on sites or whatever. Oh, where can I get my MOT done? Where can I get it done? And it's always nice to try and squeeze people in. You can't always do it. You can only do so many. But if you can help, you help, don't you?
Yeah.
So that's it. But and then I was on driving diggers, and dump trucks, bulldozers and things. I've done that for a few years as well. I worked in Newark for a while, but again, work at nightclubs as well, doing that during the day. It was you do what you have to do to, like you say, put food on the table, and that's how it works.
Wow.
And then you're trying to get in the gym a little bit at the same time and stuff.
And then
like
you've got your family life on top of that.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's it's busy.
Wow, you've kept busy. Wow.
Yeah, you've got to keep busy, and I think you've got to be busy. I can't, I'm not one of these people that will sit there and, you have a week off and I get bored.
Yeah.
You need to be doing something. It's all right if you're going on holiday somewhere and you've got things to do, but I couldn't sit and fester at home on a settee for 2 or 3 days.
No.
You want to be out doing something, don't you?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Definitely,
mate.
I think so, anyway. Yeah, but, I mean, generally just worked. I mean, I've done all sorts. I think everyone's the same. You do whatever you need to do to get the job done at the end of the day, and like you say, put food on the table. I started window cleaning round. I did that for myself. Just trying to, build something.
Yeah.
Mum and Dad didn't have a lot of money, so I used to set markets up on the stall. The Sun markets on a Tuesday and Saturday when we had a big market in Gainsborough.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
When
We used to go down
one.
and set the stalls up, before we went to school, and then go pack them up at night time. Do you know what I mean? And that was like when I was sort of 15, 14-year-old. So it was only like 3 or 4 quid a week. But it was a lot of money then, wasn't it? 3 or 4 quid a week.
But it was, yeah.
I mean, you laugh at some people laugh at you when you say, "Oh, I was earning £4 a week." But to me, that was. I could go out and get something for me and not rely on my mum and dad to do it. I mean, my mum and dad had 2 jobs each. My dad was in the RAF, and when I moved around, I've lived all over Europe, and I was in Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. I didn't move here till sort of 1978. So I'd moved about.
I wasn't.
Work it out.
I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm old. Go on.
I wasn't born then.
No, well, that's it. But what I'm saying is, my dad was in the RAF, so I spent 2 years here, 2 years in Holland, in Bahrain, Maharik. I was there for 3 years. Manchester, London. I was all over the place. You know what I mean? So I was nothing stable. Just, and then I came
You've lived in a lot of multicultural places.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, I never knew that. If you didn't ever say that, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but and when I came here, what accent did you have? I don't know.
Yeah.
I come from everywhere, you know. I came up here when I was about, I think, 12-year-old.
Jeez. So, Rick, what kind of services do you offer in your garage?
Basically, we do obviously MOTs. We do tracking, tyres, exhausts. The general, I try and stay away from the engine rebuilds and stuff like that because, to be honest with you, I always try and leave the people that know what they're doing. I'm a big believer if it's above my pay grade, let somebody do it that's specialising in it.
So basically, all ancillary.
Yeah.
Repairs.
Basic, general servicing, MOTs, MOT repairs. General, clutches, gear. We don't do gearboxes. We always send them out of house.
Yeah.
Same as every other company. Joe was here. He was on about other people that do things with them at work, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I have other people. You have people that do wheels and people that do your gearboxes and stuff like that.
I'm the same.
Send them away, and that's everyone. You try and put the business locally.
You've got to
as much as you can. Yeah, outsource work, but try and keep it locally. I'm a big believer in try and do everything locally rather than trying to take it out of town, because people want to obviously try and look after each other.
You got a good, honest workforce. That's important.
Even the workforce, there's a lot of people. I mean, people struggle to get mechanics at the minute. You know what I mean? It's like, I think I know 3 or 4 garages that are trying to advertise for mechanics. And to be honest with you, it's hard to find. Like I say, we sell cars as well. I've got a car sales pitch as well. We sell cars from that, just average.
They all come with a full MOT.
Yeah, they come with it. We try and we take them off we get them in. A lot of cars I might buy off customers. That they've stopped driving or they've changed the vehicle, stuff like that. I'll get them in. We'll do checks on them, service them, get them ready, MOT, get them all 12-month MOT ready to go. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Put a bit of warranty on them, and away you go. If there's anyone that we buy them as well. We buy cars. I've got a pitch and it advertises. We buy and sell cars as well. So if anyone's got a car that wants to be, they want to get rid of, or
there you go.
With, or they want a part exchange or whatever, or somebody wants a car. They'll ring us up and go, Rick, I'm after such and such. Can you get me one? If one comes up, I'll give them a ring.
To know,
Simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So somebody's after a first car, something cheap
well,
and cheerful.
But at least if you're buying local, if there's a problem with it,
you can take it local.
How many times you've gone somewhere and they've gone, oh yeah, it's warranted up, mate, 3 months warranty, da 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 da, give you a bit of paper, don't they? There's your paper. You go away thinking, great, I've got 3 months warranty. Week and a half later, you'll get there, something breaks. Is it covered? No, it's not covered, mate. It's not covered.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
If I say it's covered, it's covered. Yeah. You know what I mean? If I say to you, come and have a car off us, whatever, it's either got 30 days warranty, 3 months warranty, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You work on the deal. Depends what you got the car up for, what you sell it for. You work. You try and work between you what you want.
Yeah.
If I put a 3 month warranty on a car and I say, look, blah blah blah, blah that and that. You bring it in, sorted. It's not a problem.
Cool.
In fair, somebody buys a car off you, if it's not what they want, they've got so many days to bring it back anyway.
Yeah.
If you actually go by the laws and stuff, you've got so many days to bring it back if it doesn't do what you want it to do.
Yeah.
And I've always said, even if a car's sort of like, you sold a car and, you buy a new car, it breaks down. You can't guarantee anything, to be fair, you know what I mean? But if you're right with the customers, the regular customers, I have people that keep coming back, buying cars or whatever all the time. And, you get the odd one that might have a problem. And even if you say, look, I'll put a 3 month warranty on it, and then it might be 4 or 5 months down the road. You know, my attitude still, if that customer's right with you and you're looking after the car, if they come back and say, oh, battery's gone or brakes have gone, I'll tell you what, you get the bits, I'll fit it for free. You buy the parts, I'll fit it for free.
That's fair enough.
So it's taking your labour off, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't do it to everybody. You can't do it to everybody. You won't be making any money.
No,
but what I'm saying is, you've got to be fair. If they're fair with you, you've got to be fair with them.
I've done it to a few customers where, they've been good customers and they keep coming back for bits and bobs, and sometimes I do it with a freebie. I just do it with a freebie,
Yeah. You've got to try. You can't keep doing everything for nothing. But I'm a big believer, if you can help somebody out, help them,
If it's somebody I know that is pretty proper skint, and they need help, and they're all right, and I think nice.
It's when they take advantage of it.
Yeah.
It's when they come in and go, mates rates.
Yeah.
I hate that. Now, to me, I'm not being funny, right? You say the same. You're probably thinking the same thing.
We said the same exact same thing.
If you've got a mate coming in, I'll do it. I've got loads of people that come in and stuff like that. But a proper mate, he don't want mates rates. Because he knows you're in business. He knows you've got bills to pay.
Exactly.
Yeah? So he'll turn around and go, you know what? He wants 20 quid to do a job or whatever. I'm going to give him that 20 quid. And you know what? I might give him an extra fiver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's me. I would do the same. I never sort of sit there and walk in somewhere and go, oh, can you do this for me and that for me, or fix this or whatever, you know, electrical job in the garage or whatever, do you know what I mean? It could be anything.
Yeah.
And I'll say, how much is that? And they'll say, right, that's it, Rick, that's how much it is. Fine, mate, do it. And when they're finished, I pay them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if I want to treat them for an extra little bit and they've done a really good job, if I want to give them an extra couple of quid, fine.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not going to say, I want mates rates.
No.
Now, to me,
No.
that really pisses me off. Do you know what I mean? Really pisses me off. You know, you've struggled, you've gone out there, you've spent all this money doing what you're doing, you know, building it up.
Yeah.
And people just take the... Yes, they do. And you know
they do,
they do.
yeah.
So, you know, and I think, you know, I'm a big believer in, like, you know, a fair day's work for a day's pay.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
There's no wrong
The way I see it is, I would rather pay my friend because he's got that skill, that know-how.
Yeah.
He's learnt the trade. So me going to...
And you're keeping it local.
Exactly.
You're trying to help.
Exactly. So me, instead of me going to Joe Blogs because he does it, but then I got my mate Tim, I'd rather pay my mate Tim because he does the job. Yeah. He's a mate.
Yeah, but you don't want to ring him thinking, well, I do it cheap.
Yeah.
You want to ring him because the job's right, and you're going to pay him right.
Yeah, and
that's it.
and if something cropped up, he'd go, bro, I got it. Don't worry. Like, I'll sort it. I'll pop there.
I'll help you out.
I've had mates that have come to do some work with me, fix my boiler at home, and he's like, oh, you're at me. I'm like, no, I want to pay you.
Yeah, I'd sooner pay him.
You know, it's like you've come out in your van, and you've got your tools out, and you've checked my boiler. It's like, you're not doing it for no.
Yeah. The amount of people I'll probably get down, you know, and they'll come in, and little things, you know, even just like, oh, you just check my tyres, Rick, or you just change a bulb on my car or something like that. I mean, okay, I've got people who work for me, which is great. Yeah. You know, I don't have to get my hands dirty, you know, doing all the little jobs.
No.
But you'll get people that'll come in and go, oh, Rick, can you just check my tyres, like I just said, put a bulb in or whatever, and, you know, oh, I'll give you a tenner. I don't want a tenner, mate. It's up to you if you don't want something. You know, if you're doing them a little favour, it doesn't cost you actually anything.
No.
You know, it's up to you whether you turn around and say, no, you can have that, mate, don't worry about it. You know, because they've looked after you at certain points.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Yeah. It's give and take, give and take, give and take. But it's when they come and they go, you owe me, or you need to look after me. I mean,
I've done jobs for people that, you know, have brought a lot of business my way, but it's when when you spend like 2 or 3 days doing something for them, you send it off to them, and they never ask you how much they owe you.
Exactly.
And it's like, and I've done that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm thinking, no more.
I'm not. Yeah, we say that, don't we? But we still do it. Correct or not correct? Come on, we do. The amount of times I get.
He's not wrong.
I'm not wrong. Right, the amount of times, right, I've actually done that, and I've said, right, not doing it anymore. You know, not doing that anymore. I've done that for him.
I might do it for somebody else, but not that person
That's what
again.
I'm saying. Yeah,
I wouldn't do it for that person again.
But we still do it.
Yeah.
But you must learn. Stop doing it.
Yeah. Well, I say you're still learning. I'm still learning now.
It's a learning curve, isn't it? Big learning curve, isn't it?
Okay, Rick, what does the future hold for you personally and the business?
Personally, future. I think, to be honest with you, I think the business is fine. I'm not trying to be, you know, I think it's where it wants to be, I think. You know, we're busy, you know, MOT side, we're busy in the garage. The ramps are always full every day, and we've got, I think, 8-9 ramps, which is quite a big place, you know what I mean?
I didn't realise you had that many.
Yeah, it's quite big. I mean, you came the other week,
Yeah, I got some videos and photos.
I think as an independent, I think, you know, you've got Gainsborough MOT.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very similar size, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
But there isn't many really as big.
No.
You know what I mean? In comparison.
No.
Not for an independent. I mean, you've got Fords, which is, you know, fairly big. But as an independent garage, I think, space-wise, ramps and stuff like that, probably.
So you can do,
there's not a lot really we can't do, but it's a case of, obviously, you know, what you really specialise in. You know, like we said earlier, general repairs and servicing and stuff like that. You know, we'll, you know, help anybody if we can. Do you know what I mean? Future-wise, like I say, we've got the car sales and stuff like that. That's been going for a while. Do you know what I mean? Just keep going as we're going, and I think if we can stay where we are, you know, there's no point in being greedy, and you know, let's just keep flowing. Keep employing people. Yeah, I'd like a mechanic. If there's any decent mechanics out there, what I mean, that want a job. I mean,
so
everyone keeps advertising. An MOT tester, they're hard to find. Good mechanics are hard to find.
Yeah.
So everyone wants one. So if there's one out there,
so if anybody's watching,
if
you want a mechanic's job,
give us a ring.
And say we find a mechanic that's interested or MOT tester, how do we get hold of you?
Pick the phone up.
And we call the garage?
Yeah, call the garage, which is obviously Gainsborough, 610-818.
You have a website?
Yeah, we have a website. It's on Facebook as well, yeah.
Okay.
Garage Gainsborough Limited.
Cool.
Yeah, just give us a call.
Yeah.
Speak to a secretary, whatever, and we'll arrange, having an interview, whatever.
Brilliant.
The right person comes along, mate, there's a job there. End of.
There you go.
So, and that's what we need to do. We need to not expand, I think, just to make sure we've got, we're covering holidays and stuff like that. It's difficult sometimes. If you've got 2 or 3 blokes there, someone's on holiday, especially at Christmas time.
Everybody wants a holiday at the same time.
Everyone wants holidays. Everyone wants to, with the kids, and they want to spend time, which is fine. Everyone, you're entitled to it. That's it. End of the day, you work hard. You want some time off, but it's hard sometimes when you've got a busy place and there's 1 or 2 off. It's difficult trying to keep the customers happy as well. That's the thing, isn't it? So if there's anyone out there, give us a shout.
You go.
Simple.
Awesome.
So now, obviously, that's the business.
Yep.
Personally, what do you have any more goals? What would you like to do? What does the future look like for you?
Goals. Yeah. I don't know really. Goals wise.
Do you have any hobbies or?
I like flying. Yeah.
Flying?
Yeah, flying. I took flying up a few years ago. Yeah, Cessna 172. Yeah, up at Sturgate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took that up. I used to go up once every...
Not microlights, then I won't lie.
No, proper 4-seater.
Yeah.
Single prop plane.
Okay.
Yeah, I was up there every week flying that for a couple of hours. Brilliant.
What was that like? Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, we used to go up and... I'd tell them when we go up there, I'd tell them when I'm taking off and flying or whatever, and I'd actually do a circuit around the garage. You sit there all, and they're all sat in the car park. You can see them all, and and Kylie, my daughter, was there. She was working in the reception then, and basically they'd all be sat in the yard waving like that, and I'd do like a little bit of a circuit around the top, about 1,500 feet, and then they couldn't see you obviously, but they knew it was you, and then I'd just shoot off and go up towards Hull and that a lot, and have an hour tootling about doing that.
It's amazing how things look different from the air though.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. Love it. I mean, I was never that keen on flying, like you go on holiday and stuff like that, never keen on flying, but when you're in there, and I had a fantastic instructor, Christine, from, where is she? Based in Gamston. And she used to come over and take me up for 2 hours and show me the ropes and everything. And it was fantastic,
Brilliant,
absolutely fantastic, love it. Anyone wants to do it, go and do it. Brilliant. Totally different.
Yeah. I didn't expect that.
I would have never thought that in a million years as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're a big fan of fitness as well. I know you train.
Yeah, I train during the week every day. I train every day, once a week. I've got a gym at work. Well, you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it, and it's and I used to go down to Snap, and I've got a lot of mates that are bodybuilders and they train, and Stocky and everyone else. A good friend of mine, another businessman.
Yeah.
A good lad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So basically. It's what you've all done. You spend your life doing it.
We'll have to get you, Mark Stocks, Carl Jones.
Yeah.
Have a good
talk
old
about old things.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Talk about the old days. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting, definitely.
Yeah.
Thing is, there's a lot. It's like you said, all them names you just mentioned. They're all friends, and we've been friends for years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And which is great, and it's nice to sort of sit there and say they're all friends. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a good thing about it. Definitely.
Gainsborough's, I've been here 5 years and it's changed so much. So from when obviously you guys you've grown all up with each other and you've seen the development of Gainsborough. Do you think it's going in the right way, the way it's going?
I don't think I'm going to get into that really. I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? Gainsborough's a good place.
Do you think the town's developing better though? So obviously like the towns. So we're getting the cinema, businesses are moving about a little bit more. Can you see, because Lee says this to me all the time as well, do you think that, how everybody describes the old Gainsborough to me, it sounds like, it sounds like when you go to Nottingham, you go there and you're like, boy, this is even, and everyone says the same. You say the same, Mark says the same, Lee says the same to me, Carl mentions the same thing to me. With all this development, do you think it's going to get back to that stage at some point?
I don't know, really, honestly. I don't know.
It's a good question, though, isn't it?
It is. It's a very good question, but I couldn't answer it.
Yeah.
I know Gainsborough of old. Do you know what I mean? Same as Mark, same as everyone else. You know what I mean? And
there's hundreds more people living here now than what there was 20 years ago.
There's a lot more.
Yeah, there seems to be less amenities and stuff.
Yeah, there is. Like I say, you've got more people moving in, but everything's shutting, like the hospitals and stuff like that. There's not like schools. You know, I mean, I'm not I don't want to get into all that, but
there was less people 20 years ago, but we had more.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, I've spoken to so many people, and they say the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could experience that, because ever since I've only known how it is now.
Yeah.
And with me, I just feel like it's like I've said to you both before. It's a mindset thing. You can either go with the right people, or you go down a different path. And I know who, like I said, I like speaking to you because you've got the experience of business and being at a certain level in life. Same with you, Lee. Do you get what I mean? And it's not everybody thinks like me, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, everyone makes their own choices and decisions.
You choose your own path in life, don't you? You've got to choose it, and that's it.
Didn't you have the N21?
Yeah.
Do we need to go there?
Go there. Yeah, I had it for a while. Yeah, to be honest with you, I mean, I work in clubs for 20 odd years, a long time, which is a long time for anybody to work nightclubs and door work, you know. And I always, like, in my head, you think, well, yeah, I fancy it, love to own a nightclub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish I'd never, but you know, it's just, I think, you know, these silly little things and the decisions you make in life sometimes. You just don't think, you just do.
Yeah.
And it was one of them things, it come at the right time, well, not the right time, but, you know, I was busy at the garage doing what I was doing. And then all
it seemed to do well, though. I mean,
pardon?
It seemed to do well.
It was okay. It was okay. It was, and I don't think it was the club. I think it was just the fact that it's not, you can't have one of them in Gainsborough.
No.
There's not enough. If you had something like that once a month, a themed, you know, like venue once a month.
That's what you were saying.
If I'd have done it, if I'd have opened it up a different way, and I'd have turned around and said, look, right, once a month, we're going to open both floors. We're going to have a themed night, you know, and do it that way. He's nodding his head. I know exactly what you're thinking, but that, in the hindsight of it, right, if I'd have done that, it'd have probably been still there now. Do you understand what I mean? But I would have done it that way.
Yeah.
But I went gung-ho straight in, you know, spent a
yeah.
bloody fortune doing it up, this, that and the other.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was busy. It was really good. And don't get me wrong, it was nice to have a nightclub. And it was, you know, I enjoyed it. It was great. To be honest with you, what you've got to think about is that people get paid. A lot of people work on a salary. So it's once a month, isn't it? So they're not going to go out every week. That was a big mistake, you know what I mean? I should have gone with what I just said. But you just want to rush and do it, don't you?
Yeah.
So I opened up Friday, Saturday. Nobody wants to go out on a Friday. We was working the door there, and we used to, I mean, we had queues from the front door to where Canute's is.
Yeah.
On a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Because all the pubs shut at 11 o'clock, and there was lots of pubs in town, you know there was.
Yeah.
And we used to shut then at 11. We'd be starting to queue up at 10:30 till 11:15. That door was rammed.
Yeah.
Right, and it used to be chock-a-block every sort of Saturday night.
Yeah.
Every Saturday night, rammed.
Yeah, it was really
So
popular.
I'm thinking, might do all right there. Might make a few quid. But it didn't quite work out that way, did it? So it cost me a lot of money, and, you know, I don't regret doing it.
So was you the last in there?
Yeah. I don't regret doing it, and the building sort of got sold in auction, and that was it. So
The thing is, and I say this quite often as well, everybody goes through situations in life, whether they're good decisions or bad decisions. It is what it is.
It is. You bet the best of it.
You can't change the past.
No.
But you can change the future.
Yeah.
Like, we've all been there, done that, and what's happened in the past is what's happened in the past. It's done.
It's what you make of it, isn't it?
It's what you make of it.
It's how you deal with it.
Yeah.
You make a wrong decision, it's how you deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, and we're not all, you know, mind readers. We don't know everything.
No.
You've just got to deal with the situation you've got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think That's that, really. That's all I'm saying about the club. Yeah.
So it's everything. You've hit literally every point. I think with that.
I'm trying.
Have we missed anything else, Rick?
No, nothing that I'm going to talk on here about. No. Definitely not. No.
Rick, if there's a younger person, say 18, 19, 20s, they want to start a business, they've got a passion for it, and they want to go for it, what would you say to them?
Do your own work. Think about it. Really think about it. Ask the questions you need to ask. No matter, talk to your mum, talk to your dad, talk to your friends or whatever. And if you know in yourself it's what you want to do, go for it. Do it.
Yeah.
And, the best way that I can say it is, if you're scared about doing something, go to someone who's got experience in business.
And ask the questions.
And ask the questions like I've asked Rick.
Yeah.
What made you want to do it? He had a passion for it. He wanted to do it. He believed in himself.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a mindset problem we have.
Yeah, you got to believe in yourself.
A lot of people want to choose to not follow their heart and dreams.
Yeah, well, they're frightened, aren't they? Like you say, they don't believe in themselves, or they're not 100%.
Some advice from somebody who's actually gone and done it can be worth a year in college.
No, of course it can.
Of tuition.
They don't teach you that in college.
No,
trust me.
No,
Over the years, they don't teach you, the facts of a business, the facts of people knocking on the door chasing money and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? That's all taught. You have to learn all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is it. And that's the whole thing.
It's like Carl Jones. I'll tell you a quick one, Carl. With everything I've done, he has backed me.
Yeah.
When I had my gym, sponsored me consistently. He's done everything, and I said to him, one day, I said, "What makes you always believe in me?" And he says, "Because you're a trier."
Yeah.
Anyway, there's not many people like you around anymore.
My mum used to say, God bless her, God loves a trier.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's bang on the nose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely.
There you go.
A massive, massive thank you, Rick. Rick, this podcast has, out of his kind heart, sponsored us and given us a massive, massive donation. So, Rick, thank you very, very much.
Welcome.
And I have to be completely honest, Rick at no cost was going to do this at all. It took me about 3-4 attempts, and he goes, "Do you know what? I give in. Okay, I'll do it." And Rick, thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome.
It's the Asian persuasion.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, Rick, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Like I said, he's not done anything. He didn't want to do it. He says, "I believe in what you guys are doing," and he made a massive donation to us and sponsored us and, believed in what we're doing. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Welcome.
Thanks for coming, Rick.
Welcome, Lee. Welcome. Appreciate it.